Plano Skatepark, also known as Carpenter Skatepark, also known as the skate park at Carpenter Park, which is located in the city of Plano, is one of the newer skate parks in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, opening back in 2018. Carpenter Skatepark offers roughly 20,000 square feet of shreddable concrete, including a large bowl and a plaza section. That is, unless you're on a BMX bike, in which case the only offer you will be receiving is a ticket from the city of Plano. More on this later.
First, let's talk about what this park does well. Plano Skatepark has a nice variety of plaza-style obstacles. From ledges to rails, to more ledges to more rails, there is no lack of places to put your trucks down. There's a good mix of smaller, more beginner-friendly features in the street section, and some bigger, more burly options for those inclined. Most notably this 8-stair with accompanying rail and hubba. This skatepark also has what I'd like to call a warm-up set, basically a smaller hubba, rail, stair setup that you can learn on before sending your new tricks on the main set. It also has this cool A-frame setup that features a traditional A-frame rail and hubba, as well as this weird double pole jam flat rail thingy. My only real complaint about this A-frame would be that the run-ups feel a bit short when you want to hit a grind up and across. Just hopping onto the hubba feels a bit rushed after dropping in from the quarter section. Speaking of these quarters, they have a nice transition for their height and are a good contrast to the gnarly quarters in the bowl. They're also great for slamming on flyout tricks you have no business trying, and you can use the transition between the larger side to the smaller side almost like a flyout hip. Dropping in here, you can line yourself up for the 3-stair Euro gap, or this nice bank that I definitely have not gotten bodied on several times. Seriously though, these crashes are user error. I actually really do like the steepness of this bank for trying new tricks. I just have a lot of crash footage at this skate park since it used to be my local, which I think adds to my irritation about bikes not being allowed here. The feeling of being kicked out of a skate park that was built in part with your tax money is almost difficult to put into words. As a BMX rider, I obviously don't like when public skate parks have these archaic anti-bike rules, but I've got to say it's particularly frustrating when the police officer or Plano City employee whose salary is paid with that same pool of tax revenue you've had the privilege of contributing to comes by to kick you out. On this note, I will mention for any bikers watching that this park has really chilled out over the years as far as the bike rule goes. When it was brand new, you would almost always get the boot, unless you rode right at sunup or sundown. I even knew a couple dudes that got tickets at this park. These days, we almost never have issues riding here, which is a pretty stark contrast to how it was just 5 years ago when this place opened. I can remember a time where we got kicked out before we even left the parking lot.
So we're here at Plano Skatepark, or as I like to call it, Plano Bike Park. See, bikes aren't allowed at this park, but I am a taxpayer in this county, and I'll be damned if I let a sign tell me how to live my life, because that is communism. All right, this one's for freedom. Let's get it. See, they don't want us in here burning calories, having fun, making memories, learning tricks, but we're gonna do all 4 right now. New trick coming at you. Woo!
Upon entering the park, you will see this long straightaway that's great for street style lines. At the front, there's this cool starting block thing you can use for speed for this wedge-to-wedge gap, and then you can grind up one of the hubbas as shown by my buddy Michael here. This section's just as much fun coming the opposite direction, with numerous options for street-style lines. There are also these awesome stacked ledges that have endless possibilities, and this lower ledge feature that admittedly feels a bit small for bikes. For me personally, this side of the park is where I spend most of my time, and I know that's the case for 90+% of people that come here based on what I've seen at my many sessions at Plano Skatepark. Now onto the upper level. There's a long round rail here that's tall enough for bikes but low enough to be approachable for sending new tricks. I think every skate park should have a flat rail like this. Okay, so let's talk about this bowl. This thing is disappointing. It looks so cool when you roll up to it, and you know it's going to be gnarly, but it honestly just doesn't get used much, and it is in part because of how gnarly it is, but even good transition skaters I've talked to don't like this thing because it has a real awkward layout. Now I know that there are people that can absolutely rip this thing, but it almost seems like it's not worth dropping into for most. Seriously, I swear the mini quarters that line the bowl get skated more than the actual bowl itself. I myself was really only able to get one decent clip in it, which I had to absolutely battle for. Seriously, this is probably the hardest hand plant I've ever done because this ramp's really not that big for that trick. So if you haven't already dropped a like, please do, because this was a 2-session battle, and I even broke my shoe. And while you're there, hit the subscribe button too. It's free. So overall, I do recommend this park. It's a fun time and it has a lot of options, especially if you're more of a street-style plaza person. It does fill up a bit quick since it's not the biggest park, so morning sessions might be a good move if you want to make sure you can film long lines here. Looking at the footprint from my drone, I can't help but think how much better this park could be if it took up the full fenced-in area the city dedicated to it, with maybe an extension of these quarters for a mini ramp, and maybe another, less gnarly bowl that's more approachable for most of the people that go to this park. But then again, it would lose its secret feature. Its absolutely iconic and totally necessary P shape. No, I am not kidding, this park is supposed to resemble the city of Plano's P logo from the sky, I guess? I don't know what people are thinking when they design skate parks sometimes. This, interesting design choice aside, I really do like this park. It's got lights for night sessions and a shaded seating area, which are both absolute musts for a Texas park due to our intense summers. It also has plenty of parking and nearby bathrooms since it is just a part of the public park area. For these reasons, I give Plano Skatepark a 6 out of 10. Now I would give it a 7, but I've got to take a point off for the no bikes rule, and I just think it's a bit lacking when it comes to transition. Would you come to this park? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you have been to Plano Skatepark, let me know what you think of the place. Until next time, cheers.